Welcome and good morning, Shabbat Shalom to the holy seed of Israel now awakening around the world. Greetings in the name of the Father Yahweh and the Messiah Yahushua. Blessings upon Father Yahweh, the creator of heaven and earth, the one who is on top of all things, that's called the Most High Yahweh, and Messiah, whose blood is the eternal covering for the children of Israel and those in the body of Messiah with the children of Israel. Glory and honor to the Father Yahweh. Glory and honor to the only Mashiach, who is the prophet, priest, and king Messiah. And greetings again to the 12 tribes. Greetings also to Brother Lonnie and Brother Greg Hamilton and Brother David Harriet, Brother Superstar, K-Man Zion, Ben Judah, Sister Jillian, Only One Way, Gabar Yah. Greetings to Brother Gary Joseph, Sister Josie, Sister Odyssey, Sister Wade, Brother Delivery Boy. Greeting to all of you. We are continuing in our study now, and we're in Ezekiel chapter 13. Somebody right now, we're in chapters that are a little short, which is why the Bible studies have been a little short, but don't worry. There's going to be plenty of long chapters in the book of Ezekiel, plenty. But today, we're dealing with a very important, as always, subject. We are living at a time in Babylon's history, and make no mistake, we are in the kingdom of Babylon right now. We are in the kingdom of Babylon right now. As I am speaking to you, we are in the kingdom of Babylon. And in the kingdom of Babylon, the only people that will be preserved are people that earnestly seek after the truth. These are the people that will survive in Babylon. And in fact, all of the people claiming that the New Testament is replacing the Old Testament, that the Old Testament is done away with, are liars. Straight, unadulterated liars. And they will not be saved. Okay? They will not be saved in lies. Again, let's look at the word. Let's look at the word. First Kings chapter 2. This is the thing, brothers and sisters. People are so used to drinking and receiving lies. In the United States of America, all of the Europeans are under a lie because we exist. What do I mean? We exist as witnesses of what the Europeans have done to us. We exist. They could try to make excuses and make it light and do everything they want. It won't stop the ultimate utter destruction that's getting ready to come to them and their children. It won't stop. It won't stop it. Okay? It's a time for the people that want to bear witness to the truth. This is not a time to make excuses for lies, but to be real in the truth. And let me just also say, before we read 1 Kings chapter 2, we believe this is the truth. Not the New American Standard Bible, not the New Good News Bible, the King James Version, 1611, is the truth. And not just a quarter or a third of it, which you consider the so-called New Testament. No. The whole thing is the truth. And you want to listen to idolaters, otherwise known as Christian churches, idolaters. I'm going to say it straight today. Christian churches are just idol worshipers. They're idol worshipers of a man they're calling Jesus, that they have created as a white man from Europe and the head of a false religion called Christianity. The Jesus Christ of Paul that he's talking about is a Hebrew Israelite of the 12 tribes of Israel, from the tribe of Judah. That's who he is. He is the one by whom the truth is revealed. He's the truth incarnate. He did not come to replace his Father. He came to represent his Father. There are not two gods, an Old Testament one and a New Testament one. There's just one God. And if you think there's two, you're a liar. Period. I'm not coming to mince words today. because there's no time for that. The people that are into truth don't have time to be messing around with lies. Okay? Don't have time. If you receive of the eternal Spirit of the Father, you're not going to be found babbling and spitting in some unknown so-called tongue. You're going to be in the truth. Period. There's no replacement for the 10 Commandments. That's a lie. There's no replacement for the 10 Commandments. None. Moses didn't receive anything different than the Messiah. Moses didn't receive anything different than the Apostle Paul. What Abraham received, Moses received, because Moses wrote about it. What Moses received, the children of Israel received. What the children of Israel received came through the Messiah. Period. End of story. Anybody trying to change that is a liar. Why? Brothers and sisters, the Heavenly Father, who we call Yahweh, who is the beginning and the end, has no need to repent or change his mind about anything. He didn't make any mistakes when he gave the children of Israel the covenant. And the new covenant doesn't replace the 10 Commandments. If you understand what the new covenant is at all, you would never say that. But you don't. What you have done is created a religion with a white Jesus that doesn't exist. And the religion doesn't exist to the Father. That is why, brothers and sisters, when we read Matthew chapter 7, it says to some people, I never knew you. I never knew you. There are people that the Messiah represents that's going to come to him because they were in a religion of man. And they're going to say, we did this in your name, we that in your name. And he's going to plainly say, I don't know you and I never knew you. See, brothers and sisters, the difference between us and Christians is we're praying to the Creator for truth. We're asking the Creator to guide us in truth. That's why many of us have left the religions we were formerly in, have we not? Many of us have left the religions we were formerly in and are causing division within our family. We're called that because of the fact that we're not following Christmas. We're not following Easter. We're not following Halloween because they're all lies. And this is the thing. Even if you don't know, you have an opportunity to ask. See, if you believe that there's a creator, and that's number one, see, I am Yahweh, which brought you, Israel, out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. So there's one that you could call on. It's the God of Israel, the one that brought us out of Egypt, our forefathers. You could call on him and ask him for the truth. If you don't, you don't care. It's very simple. Do you care about truth or don't you? You think you're smart, that you know the truth? Or do you depend on the Creator that showed you? Because he is infinite and you are not. Where do you get your righteousness from? And what proof do you have that you have it? What is your testimony concerning the Messiah? The Bible says, he that confesses with his mouth the Lord Jesus and believes in his heart, he shall be saved, right? What does that mean, though? Does it mean just raising your hand in your Sunday school best and receiving Jesus, the white man from Europe? Is that what it means? In the religion that he never sanctified, Christianity? Is that what it means? You're in a lie. You just swore to a lie. If you change any of the words of the Most High, you don't have the word anymore. Consciously. Brothers and sisters, the reason the Father has given us this power of the Spirit and is going to continue to manifest it in us is because when we speak, the hearts of all that hear us is going to be convicted and know that it's the truth. How they respond to the truth is up to them. It's not up to us. See, brothers and sisters, Was there not a time when you and I did not know the truth? We did not understand how the righteousness of the Father is given to us. We did not understand the coat of righteousness that comes upon us. Wasn't there a time when we thought we were following the truth and we were in some Christian church, right? Isn't that true? And then we were awakened. Why? Because we were seeking truth. And the Father in his grace revealed to us the truth. And we invite any person, the same creator we did, and follow the truth and stop following to traditions of men and lies. You will be lost. We're living in a time when there ain't no in-betweens. Either you in or you out. There's no in-betweens. See, Christians try to think of as many hypothetical, stupid situations as they can. What happens if this? What happens if that? This is the deal. This is what happens. Either you in truth or you not. There's nothing else. And you know your children, right? They're dependent on your decision. Your children could be saved or not. Are you following truth or not? Either you in or you not. We are seeing in Ezekiel when time ran out for our forefathers and their city was destroyed. Solomon's temple was destroyed and they were taken to Babylon in chains. And they never recovered. They never recovered. They built another temple under the guise of Persia. A heathen man, Cyrus, said, you can go build it. They built it. They built the city. And then Messiah came. And they did not recognize the time of their visitation. Messiah was put to death, becoming the blood sacrifice for Israel, the protecting blood of the Passover. Then he was raised from the dead, and the whole city was destroyed again. And the temple, and it's never been back since. What you got now is a Hollywood set from the Edomites. That's what you got right now. You don't have the real Israel. You don't have no temple. What you got is a Hollywood setup, a lie from the Edomites, working with Christianity to create a falsehood that's going to be crushed in short order. In our lifetime. In our lifetime, it's going to be crushed. And it deserves to be. Lies are against the Heavenly Father. Lies are with the father of lies. So are you in or are you out? It only matters for you. Oh, there's a lot of more. 1 Kings chapter 2. 1 Kings chapter 2. 1 Kings chapter 2, beginning at verse 1. 1 Kings chapter 2, beginning at verse 1. I want you to see how King David, out of whose loins came Messiah Yahushua. And from him, yet only the Bible said he is the root and the offspring of David, which means David came from him and he came from David. Now, how many on the planet Earth's history could say that? Only one. He said in Revelation, he said, I am the root. David came from me, and the offspring, I came from David, of David. Now listen to what that man who they're talking about, King David, listen to what he says. I don't think there's any doubt. David's going to be on the throne of the kingdom. The Bible tells us that in more than 1 or 2 or 3 places. Jeremiah talks about it. Isaiah talks about it. Ezekiel talks about it. And here, 1 Kings talks about it. 1 Kings chapter 2 from verses 1 to 4. Now the days of David drew nigh that he should die. And he charged Solomon his son, saying, I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man. Keep the charge of Yahweh thy most high, to walk in his ways, to keep his statutes and his commandments and his judgments and his testimonies, as it is written in the law of Moses, that thou mayest prosper in all that thou doest, whithersoever thou turnest thyself. That Yahweh may continue his word, which he spake concerning me, saying, if thy children take heed to their way, to walk before me in truth, with all their heart and with all their soul, There shall not fail thee, said he, a man on the throne of Israel. What is the prerequisite? You must walk before him with all your heart. What did he say there? He said, before me in truth, with all their heart and with all their soul. This is what it costs to enter the kingdom. Truth with all your heart and all your soul. You can't wink and think you're going to be willfully ignorant, following a white Jesus and a European Christianity that ain't going to be saved. It's part of Babylon and it's going to be destroyed. I don't care what denomination you're in. You can name any one. Mormon, SDA, Jehovah's Witness, Pentecostal, all whores in the same whore house. And they're all whores that are going to be dirty and destroyed. Only the Creator and what he makes will last. And the word is very plain about what he makes. You don't see anything about Mormonism in the Bible. There's no Pentecostal in the Bible. There's no Christianity in the Bible. There's only Israel and anti-Israel, which the Bible calls anti-Messiah. Are you with Messiah or you not? And what Messiah are you with? The orange one in the White House? Because he ain't the one. He's going to go where he got coming. And all those with him going to get what you got coming. Don't make no mistake. Most going to scoff it off. That don't matter to me. To me and the brothers and sisters with us, all that matters is that we promote the truth. Period. Oh, do we make mistakes? Yeah. Promoting the truth don't mean you don't make no mistakes. What it does mean, though, is you're counted as righteous to the Creator. That's what does matter. See? It's not like no man is perfect. We are gifted perfection. We are gifted perfection. Y'all not even gifted it if you're following a lie. Period. When a brother or sister, no matter where he is, she is, where in the earth, if they decide they want to seek the Creator in truth, he will hear you. He responds to the heart that wants truth, as all of us here are witnesses. We may not have understood all the truth in the theological, logical, educational understanding, but our hearts want to do what David said. Walk before me in truth with all their heart and with all their soul, which is why, again, we say when people get baptized, what do we say? Trust you have agreed before the witnesses to trust in Yahweh with all your heart, to lean not to your own understanding, that in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he will direct thy paths. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear Yahweh and depart from evil, and it shall be health to thy navel and marrow to thy bones. That's the word, brothers and sisters. He will not fail to answer any soul that calls on that. He will not fail, as, again, we are all witnesses. Please don't think that you have to have a thorough truth understanding of all things. What you need is a thorough heart desire for truth. Do you understand the difference? There's things in the Bible you're not going to get. You can read it through as many as 20-something times as I have. There's things you're not going to get, period, because this is an eternal God with eternal brain that's giving you eternal stuff. You can only get it supernaturally. Whatever he decides to show us supernaturally, see? So your carnal mind that you got public school system where you were trained to be a slave or a racist, because that's what the public school system does. It trains you to be a slave and a racist. The Christian schools trained you to be a slave or a racist. Period. See, it doesn't matter to me whether you agree or not. What matters to me is my Heavenly Father is pleased with the way I'm bringing it, that it's true. That's all that needs to be mattered, brothers and sisters. How I bring it, how loud I am, how gruff I am is irrelevant. Is it true? Is the question you need to be asking. Should I say, asking the Creator, is what this brother's saying true? Ask him. I dare you. I double dare you. Ask him. Because at the end of the day, every thought that you have, every thought that the Spirit of the Most High brought to you, you're going to face in judgment. Every thought, every motive of everything you've ever said or done, you're going to face in the judgment. So you can't hide there and feign ignorance. Mm-mm. And this makes us, if I may say, for our brothers and sisters, this makes us feel more secure, because even though we don't know everything, we know we want truth. We know we want to serve the Creator. We know that the Creator is the one that made the heavens and the earth. We know we belong to Him. And because of that, we're under the blood. You see, brothers and sisters, the Father didn't tell Moses, kill a lamb and put the blood over your doorpost to save Egyptians, although Egyptians were delivered in that. He didn't do it that way. The object of the saving was Israelites by blood. Now, those that got in the house with the Israelites, whether they were Egyptians or not, the heathen, they caught the benefit of being in the body. It's not changed. What you're about to witness in just the next few years as the deliverance of the Israelites and those that are in the house with the Israelites under the blood of the Messiah, who was not only slain for our justification, but raised, as Paul said, also for our glorification. Praise the Most High. It's not complicated. People try to make things they don't want to face complicated. People try to make truth they don't want to accept complicated. But when you're staring at the face of Messiah on the day of judgment, and them eyes that are like flames of fire are looking right through you, you're not going to be able to fake it. Even the devil can't fake it then. Nobody's going to be able to fake the funk at that point. Okay? Nobody will. And those of us that have been seeking the truth are going to know we were seeking the truth. And the glory that we're going to receive is going to far outshine anything that you can even think of or imagine on planet Earth. And we're not going to receive it like we would deserve it. We're going to understand that it's by the mercy of the Most High of truth that we're there. We're going to understand that. See, brothers and sisters, being given perfection as a gift, we understand it's not ours. Grace and mercy gave us perfection. Let me say that again. Grace and mercy gave us perfection, gifted it to us, made us innocent, cleansed us under the blood, made us clean, made us without spot or wrinkle or any such thing. And we know that's not us, but it was gifted to us and we graciously received the gift. It rebukes us because of what we are, which is what causes the combination of receiving perfection and knowing you did wrong, but you repented. That combination causes this thing called humility. You got a perfect coat on. Your name is known to the Heavenly Father. Your name is written in the book of life, and you know very well you don't deserve it. And you're dependent on His mercy and grace to keep you there. You know that. But He blesses you because you asked for the truth. And it's unfortunate. You know, my wife and I were talking to our attorney the other day. By the way, thank you for your prayers. This thing is coming to a head rapidly. But we were talking to him. And the other side had did certain things that were so grievously stupid. I said to him, I said, why are they doing this? And you know what he said was? He said, because they lying. That's all he said. I said, why are they doing this? This is crazy. He said, because they're lying. And brothers and sisters, that's what it comes down to. Either in the truth or lying. And there are people that really believe, really truly believe they're going to get over by lying. No liars are going to enter into the kingdom. No idolaters. Nobody trying to make a European Christianity into the truth. You're not going to get it. You're not getting there. You're not going to make it. Okay? You're just not. That's not the truth. Those that claim to believe in the Bible are listening to all types of versions, all types of false prophets, all types of false religions. Nah. He never knew you. That's right. The Most High takes everything into account. For example, there's a brother that was born into a ghetto. His mother might have been a crackhead from what the Europeans put us in. His father either dead or in jail. And from the time before he was even able to be a teenager, he's been in survival mode. That means beg, borrow, steal, do what you got to do. And somehow, he gets to be a grown man and he has made it. He has survived. He has survived the worst things that could come upon a human being. And now he's into truth. What you think? Some lying Christian going to be able to stand beside him that lived in a middle-class lifestyle and a system set up for them? And think you're going to stand beside this brother under the tree of life? You really think so? What about this? There are people that are in Christian churches and know they're not following the truth. They understand that. But they're afraid to take a stand because they're afraid of what people will say about them. They're afraid of the response of their family. So you really think that the Apostle Paul, who was beheaded, or John the Baptist, who was beheaded for truth, that you're going to stand next to them in the kingdom? And you were just afraid of what other people would say about you or what was reported on social media? And you want to stand next to two men who were beheaded for the witness of truth? See, that's what I mean. There are people that are living in a fantasy, a delusion. You know, it's funny. On Facebook, they got AI. So you can make, women do this. They make themselves into something they don't really look like. Y'all know what I'm talking about. They I don't know how they do it because I don't use it, but I'm just saying they make themselves into something that looks younger, firmer, prettier than they really look like. Okay, it's like I remember my son, my oldest son, the mother of my two grandsons. He met her online. Okay, and when I saw the pictures, see, at the time, my son was 24. The woman was 33. And she had already had 3 children by 2 men. But the pictures on her, and this was back in the day, this was 20 years ago. So the pictures were high school pictures of her. And I said to him, I said, yo, she don't look like that. He said, how you know? I said, she don't look like that. So when he brought her home, eventually, his friends were saying, man, he's dating a woman look like his aunt. And that was putting it nicely. And so I was like, see, brothers and sisters, people try to fake and live in a fantasy that doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. AI is not real. The pictures that are put in there, those are not representative of the true people. And Christianity is not representative of truth. period. It doesn't represent truth, you understand? And when you change the identity of Messiah, saying his color doesn't matter, after your whole generations before you created a whole culture based on race that they created, you're going to tell us it doesn't matter, and you followed it, and it put you in the superior position that you're in right now on the Babylon soil? You think it doesn't matter? You're lying. You're lying. And you're going to be called to the carpet for the lies. You cannot make it into the kingdom living a lie. Period. Okay? Exactly. But it's a sample of the culture we live in. The whole culture is built on lies. See, like the stock market. What you may not follow. I used to work in the stock market, so I do follow it. I ain't gonna front. But Donald Trump is manipulating the stock market. See, all of the most richest Caucasians have always done that. There's a man named Rothschild that knew, for example, at Waterloo, he found out that Napoleon lost before the general public knew Napoleon lost. And he bought stock, or should I say options, that would profit him in a loss. That's how they got rich. And so when the stock market at that time in Europe found out that Napoleon lost at Waterloo, all the stocks crashed, and homeboy got rich off the crash. The same with Joseph P. Kennedy, the Kennedy patriarch. Same thing. He's manipulating the stock market, and he's making money on the manipulation. That's not new. J.P. Morgan did the same thing. All these rich Caucasians, Rockefeller did the same thing. They all do it. That's how they get wealth in the system created for them to get wealth. Then now, hear what Trump do. Listen up. He'll get out here and say there's a ceasefire. There are, Iran's about to give up. The Strait of Hormuz is going to be open. Guess what the stock market does? It shoots through the roof. Then he plays the other side. You see, when you understand information, that's why inside information is illegal, because if you understand information beforehand, you can make money if the stock market drops or if the stock market rises. You can make money either way, okay? So Trump is out here saying, the Strait of Hormuz is going to be open. We're about to win the war. They've agreed to a settlement. And then the stock market takes off. Then he'll say, I'm going to bomb Iran. I'm tired of them. Guess what the stock market does? It crashes. And listen, he's got people working both sides because he already knows what he's going to say. See, so he knows he's going to stand up in front of the whole world and say, we're going to bomb the hell out of them. And he knows what the stock market's going to do as a result of it. So when it crashes, he's got money. He's making billions doing this. And he's doing it in front of everybody. And because he's a Caucasian male, nobody says anything. Okay? Nobody says anything. See, brothers and sisters? Well, you have to understand, Akawan Banya, what a stock is. Most people don't understand what a stock is. That's really the problem. It's very simple, is that most people don't understand what a stock is. For example, I will go to the supermarket and I will buy a certain brand of organic beef, right? And I buy it consistently. I buy this certain brand of organic beef, grass-fed, 100% organic beef. So I'm buying a product of a company. When you go to the supermarket, when you put anything in your basket, you are buying a product of a corporation. You can't avoid it. You buy a loaf of bread, you buy a gallon of milk, whatever you're buying a product of a corporation. So what a stock means is that you are buying ownership in a corporation. So let's say a poison like Coca-Cola. Let's say my father, when I came down here, he was buying Pepsis by the gallon, man. I had to stop him from doing it. I said, I'm sorry. I know you're eating junk pop, but I cannot let you partake in this no more. No more Pepsi coming in here. But he was buying so much of it, would make sense that he would own a part of Pepsi. Why? Because he's buying it. Him and millions of other people. So all a stock means is he would have bought a part of Pepsi. That's all that means. So if you are going to own anything, you're going to own something that's making money. Like I'm on a computer right now. This computer is powered by Intel Core 17. I got a computer that's made by Microsoft. The software is Microsoft. You understand? So I'm using Microsoft software. Should I own part of Microsoft? I'm using their software. So when you are using a product, and this is a side thing, but when you're using a product and you don't own the company, you're a customer. That's all you are, a customer. You don't own it. When you're buying a product you own, for example, Michael Jordan. You think Jordan owned any Nikes? You think he owned any Nikes? When they were putting Jordan on McDonald's commercials, guess what he would order in public all the time? McDonald's. You understand? So why? Because he owned part of those companies. He owned part of Nike. So now he's buying a product of a company he owns versus just being a consumer. You understand? That's all I'm saying. So when you want to own something, you're buying, when you want to own a stock, you're buying ownership in a corporate company. And you are when the company profits. So if you think Microsoft is making money and you own some of it, guess what's going to happen? You're going to make money. If you own shares of a supermarket chain and it's making money, guess what's going to happen? You're going to make money. Now, somebody will say, well, what if they fall? That's right. It could happen. So if you own shares in a company that's losing money, guess what you're going to do? You're going to lose money. That's what happens, brothers and sisters. That is the stock market. Very simple. I put it very simply, but it really is, the truth is accurate. So if you own shares in a company, that's what stocks are. It's just ownership in a company. Now, if you're smart, you don't own one company. You might own a basket of companies. So if one goes down, one goes up, and you won't lose any money. See? So you might own, I don't know, you might own GM or Ford on one side, Microsoft on another, right? You might own Intel chips. You might own, and you end up, you know how many thousands of companies there are? You might own something that's like 500 companies. Not everybody's going to lose at once. The time that we're all going to lose is what the Bible shows us. It all falls apart. And it's going to. It's all going to fall apart. Everything. All the companies. They're going to fall apart. Okay? But in the meantime, how many people can you help? Okay? You understand? So, Brother Lonnie, he might own shares in Colt or Smith & Wesson. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So that's what we're talking about. Okay? That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. So Trump understands this, and he knows that the president of the United States can influence markets worldwide every day, and that's what he's doing. So he knows what he's about to say. Even, and it's going to be 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a lie, right? You're going to say, well, they've agreed to surrender, and we're going to have a peace, and the Strait of Hormuz is going to be open, and all the tankers are coming through. The stock market will go up, and he's got the stock in the right place to make money. Then he knows tomorrow he makes a few calls to his Ashkenazi son-in-law and some other people, to his daughters or whoever. They got people in place. Listen, we getting ready to bomb the hell out of our stock market drop. He's making more money. See, when you cheat the way these white men cheat, you make money on the downstroke and the upstroke. You don't lose a dime. They ain't taking no shorts. You understand? And the richer they get, the less shorts they'll take. Okay, the richer they get, the less shorts they'll take. They're never satisfied. They're never satisfied. You think they would have, you own $100 billion or $1 trillion worth of assets, you'd be satisfied. Nope. Greed knows no bounds. It knows none. Greed knows no bounds. And as long as greed exists, you're in Babylon. You need to understand that. In the kingdom of Yah, there'll be no stock market. In the kingdom of Yah, there'll be no stock market. We'll all own the land together, everybody. We'll all own whatever the Most High has given to the earth. There'll be no competing about one or the other, one that wants to make money and one that wants to make more. There won't be that. It won't exist. There'll be no currency that we need to trade like that. It won't work. We'll build whatever we want to build, brothers and sisters. Whatever. Houses, lands, farms, vineyards, whatever you want, you could build it. And it's yours. And it's yours. See? Nobody's coming to take it. You won't need no walls. You won't need no guns. You won't need no cannons. You won't need no arrows. Protect yourself. You won't need nothing no visible wire fences to protect you from bears or coyotes. None of that's going to happen in the kingdom. It's a whole different world. That's why he said new heaven and new earth. Whole different world will be existing. There'll be no evil. There'll be no liars. There'll be no more greed. You understand? So, brothers and sisters, that's where we at. Now, we're talking about Ezekiel. All right, let's go to Ezekiel chapter 13. Ezekiel chapter 13. I gave y'all more than I wanted to today, but whatever. Praise the Most High anyway. Ezekiel chapter 13. We just finished chapter 12 last night. Ezekiel chapter 13. We're talking about liars being destroyed. Period. Okay? Liars being destroyed. Period. You know what else is now manifest? Those of you that are following the sports and the Knicks, that's influencing everything and everybody's looking the other way. What? Gambling. Gambling is so big. It is so big, brothers and sisters. It used to be that only mobsters ran gambling out of Las Vegas. It used to be mobsters like Jimmy the Greek and them out of Las Vegas ran gambling. But there's so much money in it now. There's so much money being generated. It's so big, they can't contain it. That's why it's legal now. They can't contain it. It was impossible. You just had 2 pro players get busted for gambling. 2. Terry Rozier is one, and Malik got busted the other day too. They're getting, and more. They got more coming. Okay? There's a lot coming out because there's so much money. And do you realize how many families are being destroyed because of gambling? They try to put the little disclaimer, if you have a gambling problem, that's like saying, if you're smoking cigarettes, you might get cancer just to protect them. It ain't to protect you. Greed taking over. Okay? It was more than 6 months ago. I swear, I told the guy, this season is fixed for the Knicks. I swear, I told him. He said, well, why do you watch if you think it's fixed? I said, listen, man, I watch because it's entertainment, but I'm telling you, this season is fixed for the Knicks. And who won? I'm trying to tell you. I told you. There's a lot. Chauncey Billups, Ed Davis, Terry Rozier, a lot of dudes, because it's so big and it's so much greed. They can't control it. They can't stop it. So that's why now if you're watching any sporting event, you could notice there is just as many gambling commercials promoting gambling companies as there are drug companies. You ever see, especially here where I live in Florida, every other commercial is a drug company. In other countries, like any other country we went to, they're not allowed to put drug commercials. We went to Colombia, there was not only not any drug commercials, they can't even put billboards with drug commercials, selling any drug. You can't do it. It's illegal. But in the United States, You watching the television, you watching anything, every other commercial. Try this drug, try it. But if you have this or that, the other, that can cause suicide or death, but it'll clear up your skin for you. You know, I once went to a doctor. Just tell you, doctor said, "You're pre-diabetic." He told me, "You're on the border." He said, "You should take. I'm going to prescribe a drug." And then I said, "Wait, hold on." I said, "How long would I take this drug?" He said, "The rest of your life, you're going to need this drug." The rest of my life? I said, "No, don't prescribe it." "Yeah, I'm telling you." I said, "What's the worst going to happen?" "You could die." I said, "Then I just die then. I'll be all right. I just died then. I'm not taking your drug." No. I told him that. Then they kept wanting to dig up in my private parts. We need to find out if you got colon cancer. I said, "The hell with that. You ain't digging up in my behind." No. So it took maybe about 4 years for my doctor. I liked him. I would go there for my annual. And he was like, okay, we're going to ask the question. I said, "Stop, man, stop. You're not doing it." No. Then I went and found out, okay, I'm eating too much sugar. The Most High told me, he told me I was taking a shower. He said, "It's the sugar, man." I was like, "Oh, shoot." So I had to, it was hard I had to pray. I'm a sugarholic. I had to recognize, man, I'm weak for this sugar. It's been my problem my whole life. I didn't even realize. I mean, I knew it, but I didn't take it seriously enough. So then I stopped eating the sugar. It was a struggle. I had struggled with fruit. I struggled, but I was determined, man. I said, I'll eat bitter stuff the rest of my life. I need this sugar to come down. When I went back to my doctor, you know what he told me? He said, "You're the healthiest 64-year-old I ever seen." He said, "You are healthy." He said, "Listen, I usually make money, but you coming in here every year. You don't need to come. If you want to come every other year, you can." I said, "No, I'll come back." But see, I just got rid of the sugar. No more white sugar, no more donuts, no more cookies, no more cakes, no more pies. No. More protein, and then all of a sudden sugar start coming down. Okay, start coming down. It was under 100 something. I was on the 115. That's where they said I was pre-diabetic. But then it went down to 92. See? Praise the Most High. And you know what? If I'd have been in another country, they'd have told me that. Just stop eating the shit. They'd have told me that. Okay? But no, here, greed says we got to make money on you, squeeze you until you dead. So you got to take these drugs the rest of your life. See, Messiah didn't tell the people, "You need to take drugs the rest of your life to get over this one." No. The Most High's word says, "I will bless your food and your water, and I will take away sickness from the midst of thee." That's what he said. That's what his words say. I will bless your food. So you got understanding from the Creator. He'll give you. See, there was a time I thought not eating meat was the way to go. That's when I got really hooked on the sugar, honestly. And I was never satisfied. I was half satisfied with my food. It tasted good, but I wanted more because I wasn't having enough nutrients in the food. See? And then he shifted me I went to all fruit. Then I couldn't have any because I had too much sugar. Then had to get rid of that sugar. That was the hardest thing, man. It wasn't because the Most High couldn't deliver me. I had to decide, this is my problem. See? Even every alcoholic will tell you, the day they start to decide, I'm an alcoholic, that's when you start to overcome it. If you don't admit you're an alcoholic, there are people that are fat, and they will never admit I'm fat. Once you admit I'm overweight, I'm obese, then you could begin to deal with the problem. Then the Most High can give you power and suggestions to deal with the problem. But if you don't admit there's a problem, there's nothing for you to get dealt with. Most brothers suffer from heart disease, hypertension, diabetes. Most of us do. It's because of what they've trapped us with, brothers and sisters. They've trapped us. They got us hooked on the crack of sugar or whatever. Okay? You understand? So when the Most High can deal with you on what's really happening, that's truth. That's truth. I had to come to the conclusion that, all right, now I'm hooked on sugar. I love sugar. I love cookies. I love donuts. I had to come to that conclusion. I'm hooked on sugar. That's when it began. Father, I'm hooked on sugar. I need you to help me. I need you to help me deliver me from this because it's going to kill me. And it's not the death, brothers and sisters. It's how it happens. See, I could be dying this afternoon. But look, at least I knew that as far as I could, I followed truth in the area of my diet, right? At least I know I followed truth in the area of exercise. I followed truth trying to get to the maximum health I can. If I died tomorrow, then I just died in. See, some people think because they do all of these exercise, they're going to live forever. They lying. You're going to still die. Tell you, I see a lot of videos. They think they give you the implication, well, you can live to 100. You can live. Man, ain't no guarantee you can live more than 70, and that's if you get that. That young boy that got killed in Mississippi the other day, he only lived to be 18. Went out with his certain kind of people and didn't come back. They did. He didn't. You understand? So, brothers and sisters, just follow truth. That's all that matters. If we're following truth, our conscience is clear. Because we're following the truth. Praise the Most High. Ezekiel chapter 13, beginning at verse 1. Watch this now. Ezekiel chapter 13, beginning at verse 1, and go down to verse 5. Ezekiel 13, from 1 to 5. And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy against the prophets of Israel, that prophecy, and say unto them that prophecy out of their own hearts, hear ye the word of Yahweh. Thus saith Yahweh Most High, woe unto the foolish prophets that follow their own spirit and have seen nothing. O Israel, thy prophets are like the foxes in the deserts. Ye have not gone up into the gaps, neither made up the hedge of the house of Israel to stand in the battle in the day of Yahweh. See, brothers and sisters, we know what the word says. Prophets only come from Israel. And those that are in the house of Israel, even if they be not bloodline. Prophets can come from Gentiles if they come in the house of Israel. Otherwise, prophets that are following idols, they're false prophets. They're not getting nothing except come out of her, my people. That's it. And most of them ain't following that either. They ain't getting nothing. See, it's very simple. Somebody say, I had a dream. If the dream ain't telling you come out of your idolatry, you ain't seen nothing. The other day, talking to my oldest boy, trying to give him some counsel, So he is having trouble getting over this last girlfriend that he had. And so he said to me, I was going to delete all my social media with her. And a voice said, don't. What do you think that is, Pop? I said, there's two forces fighting over your soul, right? I said, if the Creator wants you to be with this woman, deleting her social media won't stop it. He said, that is true. I said, but if you delete her social media and she's not for you, you just saved yourself some problems. And he said, man, I didn't think of it like that. See, because his desire was an excuse to stay with somebody that he's not supposed to be with. And that's what we do. We make excuses to do stuff you ain't supposed to be doing. The Most High ain't with it. You lied to yourself. Not just to the Most High, but to yourself. That's why I say, brothers and sisters, every day, ask the Father to lead you in truth, because we do tend to deceive ourselves when we really want something bad, You ever had something that you wanted really bad and you knew you shouldn't be going after it, whatever it was, person, place, or thing. But I'm saying, you know that ain't for you, but you're trying to make an excuse why you could go after it. That's why you need the Father to guide you. He will guide you in truth. He will guide you. He will prevent you from hurting yourself. Praise the Most High. Praise the Most High. Most people won't pray that prayer though, because they're afraid that he will stop you. And they don't want to be stopped. Praise the Most High. Okay. Ezekiel 13, beginning at verse 6. They have seen vanity and lying divination, saying, Yahweh saith, and Yahweh hath not sent them. And they have made others to hope that they would confirm the word. See? Confirm the lie. Have ye not seen a vain vision? And have ye not spoken a lying divination? Whereas ye say, Yahweh saith it, albeit have not spoken? Therefore, thus saith the Most High Yahweh, because ye have spoken vanities and seen lies, therefore, behold, I am against you, saith the Most High Yahweh. See, I never knew you. And mine hand shall be upon the prophets that see vanity and that divine lies. They shall not be in the assembly of my people. Okay, wait. What's the modern New Testament word for the assembly? Bible students, you see, they shall not be in the assembly of my people. That's right. They shall not be in the church. They shall not be in the body of Messiah. They shall not be under the banner of the blood. They shall not be. Period. They shall not be. They see, my hand shall be upon the prophets that see vanity and divine lies. They shall not be in the assembly of my people, neither shall they be written in the writing of the house of Israel, neither shall they enter into the land of Israel. And ye shall know that I am the Most High Yahweh. This is straight. It's so straight. It's so straight. It can hurt, right? It's so straight. When you get that arrow, it's so straight. But it's the truth, though. At the end, it will bless you. At the end, it will bless you. But it hurts at first because you've been trying so hard to avoid it. You've been trying so hard to avoid it. Praise the Most High. Verse 10. Because they have seduced my people, saying peace, and there was no peace. One built up a wall, and lo, others dubbed it with untempered mortar. So they're building up a building of stuff that's going to fail. It's not strong. Untempered mortar. And they said peace, and there was no peace. They say, wait, have you heard this term? We should honor the history of the Black church. Y'all heard that one? The Black church has been influential in our history. Let me ask you, what really has the Black church done? The Black church. What really has it done? Has it brought us truth? Has it caused us not to fall for the sucker move of the civil rights movement? Was not Martin Luther King, when he was selling out before he woke up and got killed for it, wasn't he part of the Black church? And even if it's sincere, Malcolm X talks about his daddy that was telling us to follow Marcus Garvey, and he got killed for it. Even following Marcus Garvey is not the truth, but he thought it was. That was from the Black church. See, you're looking for inspiration, and you see somebody that looks like you giving it, and you get all hyped, but is it really truth? What it comes down to. Because a lot of our brothers and sisters are being very, very authentic, very earnest in wanting to bring truth, but are too ignorant to know it. Malcolm X was not aware that the Islamic, Sunni Islam he was following was false. He thought it was the hope of our people. He really sincerely thought that if all our people and the Caucasians would follow Sunni Islam, it would solve the world's problems. He really thought that. The organization he started, the Organization of Afro-American Unity, that was part of the Organization of African Nations. He thought that all of us following Islam, it would save us. He thought that. And then Kwame Ture, one of the African, the so-called Hebrew leaders that actually read through the whole Quran, read through the whole Bible several times. He thought by political organization we could be saved. I know it sounds silly, right? But this is the ignorance we were in. Kwame Ture, otherwise known as Stokely Carmichael, his family came from the Caribbean islands. So Caribbean people, when they come to the United States, they used to look down on American black people, not understanding that they have been colonized by the same Europeans, just that you was on an island that gave you an advantage, see. You're in Jamaica, you are Maroon. Those that know what I'm talking about. You are Maroon. Maroon went into the Blue Mountains. Maroon went into the hills. And them British didn't want no parts of the Maroon. Didn't want no parts of it. That's how they got independence. But then the colonization still ruined Jamaica to this day. Okay? Still do it. But they come to the United States and say, I'm not black, I'm Jamaican. Or the Dominicans, you have been colonized by the Spaniards. You speak their language. You call yourself by their names. And you say, I'm not black, I'm Dominican, man. No black, man, me Dominican. And you all don't know, and you just got dropped off at a different island. You the same people. See? Because you've been colonized in your mind. So brothers and sisters, this is what the awakening is about. See? Those of us that are awakening understand the truth is in Messiah as our blood that covers us. He's the blood over our doorpost that covers us and brings us blessing from the destroying angel of the Father, causes the Father to look favorably upon us and grant us righteousness. We understand that no matter if you're from Jamaica, if your family was on Dominican Republic, if you're in Haiti, no matter where you're from, it's the same blood. See, brothers and sisters? When you start following into divisions, you're following into the trap of your colonizers. The black church ain't nothing. What is something is truth. That's truth is something. See, listen, I would say, you can disagree, obviously, but I would say at the end, Martin Luther King, at the end, Malcolm X, at the end, Fred Hampton were earnest in their desire to help their people with truth. Fred Hampton thought by organizing in political means. Martin Luther King said by following Christianity. And Malcolm X thought, as I mentioned, Sunni Islam was the answer. None of them were right. But they all were sincere in following what they thought was truth. Then came Khalid Abdul Muhammad. He was telling them to their face, we hate them and what you did to us. And he was telling them to their face about a black Holocaust that they won't even still acknowledge exists and has existed since they came into contact with us. There's been a black Holocaust. Ain't no daggone 6-year Holocaust in Europe. We've been going through a Holocaust for 500 years. Ain't no 6 million. Try 600 million. But they don't want to acknowledge that. See? So these brothers was doing all they could to help their people, the downtrodden people. They were trying their best. They all got killed for it. But nevertheless, at least they were sincere and earnest in trying to follow the truth, you understand. John Brown, a Caucasian man, organized some black folks and was going to attack the slave catchers and slave masters in their forts. He was hung because of that, but at least he was sincere in following and saying what he thought was the truth. And we could keep going. There's a lot of us like that. But we are in a generation that actually is receiving the truth. We're in the last generation, actually getting ready to receive the seal of the spirit of truth from the Creator. We're in the last one. You understand? So that's why slowly you and I are being moved away from anything that's not true. It's not happening all at once, brothers and sisters. There are people, like I said, Martin Luther King went through a transition. He was first a sellout. He was a sellout in a Baptist church, and they were set up by white people with money. The whole March on Washington was a fake farce. It was a fake farce. The I Have a Dream speech was a fake lie farce. When he was coming back, he wasn't coming back with no peaceful march. He said, we coming to get our check. They killed him. They killed him. See, they killed him. Malcolm X said, listen here, I'm getting ready to go to the UN and bring the United States up on charges. They killed him. They killed him. Fred Hampton had the Puerto Rican gangs, the Irish gangs, the black gangs in Chicago uniting. And he was feeding hungry children that wasn't getting enough food to eat to go to school without being hungry. He was organizing it. They killed him. Khalid Abdul Muhammad reestablished the Black Panther Party for self-defense. They killed him. But we are going to stand on the perfect righteousness of the Creator. We're going to stand in the truth. Nobody's church, nobody's black church. We're standing in the black Messiah. And the Most High says that's going to go through. That's going to go through. The other stuff didn't make it. But this one here, this is going to go through. Because why? The Father's glorified in truth. He is not glorified in ignorance and lies. So sure, we're not knowing everything. There's more we're going to learn, brothers and sisters. I can tell you that right now. We've learned a lot, but there's a lot of more. There's other stuff we're going to learn. Praise the Most High. But the fact is, we're coming. We're coming. Period. We're coming. And the train is not going to stop because it's not by us. It's by the Father. We're coming. Praise the Most High. Okay. Ezekiel 13, beginning at verse 11, going down to verse 14. Say unto them which dub it with untempered mortar, that it shall fall. There shall be overflowing shower, and ye, O great hailstones, shall fall, and a stormy wind shall rend it. Lo, when the wall is fallen, shall it not be said unto you, where is the daubing wherewith ye daubed it? Therefore, thus saith the Most High Yahweh, I will even rend it with a stormy wind in my fury, and there shall be an overflowing shower in my anger, and great hailstones in my fury to consume it. So will I break down the wall that ye have dug with untempered mortar, and build it down to the ground, bring it down, to the ground, so that foundation thereof shall be discovered. And it shall fall, and ye shall be consumed in the midst thereof, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh. Oh, yes. Messiah said, upon this rock I will build my assembly, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. See, brothers and sisters, that's tempered mortar we're talking about now. Praise the Most High. Verse 15. Thus will I accomplish my wrath upon the wall and upon them that have dubbed it with untempered mortar, and will say unto you, the wall is no more, neither they that dubbed it. To wit, the prophets of Israel, which prophesy concerning Jerusalem, which see visions of peace for her, and there is no peace, saith the Most High Yahweh. Likewise, thou son of man, set thy face against the daughters of thy people, which prophesy out of their own heart, and prophesy thou against them, and say, thus saith the Most High Yahweh, woe to the woman that sew pillows to their armholes, and make kerchiefs upon the head of every stature to hunt souls. Will ye hunt the souls of my people? And will ye save the souls alive that come unto you? See, brothers and sisters, can these churches save you? Can they give you perfection? Can these churches give you truth, really? Can they seal you against lies? Can they? Will they really get you in the book of life, of truth? Verse 19. Will you pollute me among my people for handfuls of barley and pieces of bread, to slay souls that should not die and save souls alive that should not live? By your lying to my people that hear your lies. Verse 20. Wherefore, thus saith the Most High Yahweh, behold, I am against your pillows, wherewith ye there hunt the souls to make them fly, and I will tear them from your arms, and will let the souls go, even the souls that ye hunt to make them fly. That's what's going on right now. What does that mean? All of us have come out of some Christianity, are we not? Testing? You might have come out of the Nation of Islam, but you come out of some religious system. That's what it means when it says, I will tear them from your arms and let the souls go, even the souls that ye hunt to make them after. Everybody's trying to reach in your pocket. Everybody, right? They're trying to reach in your pocket. Oh, help this ministry. We wouldn't exist without your faithful support, right? Oh, we need a new building. We need $1 million. Most High gonna bless us with a new building. I done seen it. And you're being torn from them. The Most High is taking you away from them because you're his people. He's not going to allow them to take advantage of you like that no more. You know, one time I used to go to church on 123rd Street before it was called Malcolm X Boulevard. This is before Malcolm X movie came out and everybody started wearing X and stuff, right? But it used to just be called Lenox Avenue. Those of you know, you know. It used to be called Lenox Avenue. And on 125th and Lenox Avenue, there was a train stop right there. There was a train stop. Okay, so you could take the 1, I think you could take the 2 right there. I'm not sure. You could take the 3 too. You can get off the 1, the 2, the 3. It's been a while since I rode the subway, but y'all know what I'm talking about. You would get off on 125th Street. And so I would ride the subway to 125th Street. I get off and I walk a block and a half back to the church on 123rd Street and Lenox Avenue. Okay. I don't know why. One day I was on my way to church and I got off the subway. It was a typical Saturday. You know, I was in the SDA church, so we kept Saturday, right? So typical Saturday. And this brother was like standing on the corner, man, I need some food. I need some food. He was begging for money. I had my tithe money in my envelope already for the church. I had it already in my pocket. I had put it in my house and had it there, okay? So when I saw him, my heart hurt. I said, I don't want to give him the money because I don't know if he's going to buy drink with it or buy crack with it or eat. So I said to him, you hungry? He said, yeah, brother, I'm hungry. I said, what you want? I said, at that moment, at that time, it's probably not there, but there was a fried chicken place on the corner, 125th and Lenox Avenue. There was a fried chicken place on the corner. I said, you want some fried chicken? He said, yeah. So we came in there. I said, order what you want. Order whatever you want. And he did. And I paid for it. And then I went into the church that day. And it was the most fulfilling moment that I had in the SDA church. And then I told somebody what happened. I bore witness. I said, man, it was a hungry man. And I went over there and they said, oh, you shouldn't have gave that. Ellen White said the tithe is supposed to come to the church. That's what they told me. At the time, I fell for it. And I said, okay, but I didn't feel bad about helping that man. Because I know what? When I got off the train that day, he ate, right? He said he was hungry. He looked like he ain't had no money and he ate. Whatever happened after that, whatever. And I felt so good helping that man. I felt like something that actually means something happened. Something that actually means something. We were always being told about missions and you know what they used to call a missionary work. Never actually seeing anything except a video they would show you about some Africans taking advantage of what the white people gave them in their colonization of their countries, right? But this was real. I felt good. I said, oh man, one thing I know, I may not see him again, but that morning, that Shabbat morning, he ate. I fed him. See, praise the Most High. And I was happy to do it. I felt like the money I had earned to put in that envelope went to good use. Praise the Most High. See? And so that's the difference when you're in the truth and you're not. You're believing man. Ellen White said you should not do that. Ellen White didn't feed that man. Ellen White was dead. That man was alive and hungry. Huh? I didn't argue with him. I just said, okay, I got you, brother. I ain't saying nothing about it. But in my heart, I felt good. Felt real good. Felt real good. And that's why I say to you, when you get tired money, there's somebody out here struggling. You know it, and I know it. There's somebody that can't pay their phone, can't pay the electric, can't pay the food. There's some single mama out here trying to figure out how she gonna make her $200 work for her kids. How's she gonna do that? And you and I run into them. The Most High brings them in our path. That's who your tie is supposed to go to. The poor, the fatherless, the widow. That's who the tie is supposed to go to. Not to some daggone organization that's supposed to be claiming to bring a white man's gospel to another country. You understand? The truth is, there are people right around us in need. You understand? Praise the Most High. And when we get, and we're in the position to help, we can help. Praise the Most High, Yah. Until the Most High tells us otherwise. Y'all know about the sister that was in Zambia that we supported that sister for more than 4 years. She's a widow with 2 children in East Africa, and we were supporting her until the Most High said to me just in June, that's enough. That's it. He said, that's enough. My wife and another sister was like, we don't think you should do this. And the Most High, in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let every word be established. So I cut the sister off. I just cut it off because the Most High said, that's enough. You understand? That's enough. And that's the way it goes, brothers and sisters. And I ain't look back either. That's the way it goes. When he said go, go. When he say stop, stop. Guess what? I got my commands from the Spirit of the Most High, not from somebody's church. You understand? Some greedy pastor looking for more money out your pocket. No. What they say in Malcolm X? What they say, Castle King? Get your hand out my pocket. Is that right? Get your hand out my pocket. You understand? You understand? So I was doing as the Most High had me for 4 years. And then it came to an end. And he showed me that in January. This is it. This is going to be the last year. I said, okay. And it was hard because I didn't want, my conscience wouldn't let the woman with the 2 kids suffer. I just kept thinking of them suffering. I was like, no, no, no. But then the Most High said, that's enough. That's it. That's all I need to know. See, brothers and sisters, that's why when you're seeking the Father, you're seeking his Spirit. All you need to know is what his word is. What his word to you is. And you just need to follow that. That's it, period. It doesn't matter if you agree with it or not. Does it come from him? Is it truth? Okay then. Okay then. That's it. Praise the Most High. Okay. Let's keep reading. I think we already read it, but I'm going to read it again. Verse 15 and 16. Thus will I accomplish my wrath upon the wall and upon them that have dubbed it with untempered mortar, and will say unto you, the wall is no more, neither they that dubbed it. Verse 16. To wit, the prophets of Israel, which prophesy concerning Jerusalem, which see visions of peace for her, and there is no peace, saith the Most High Yahweh. Likewise, thou son of man, set thy face against the daughters of thy people, which prophesy out of their own heart. Oh, yes, we did read this. And prophesy thou against them, and say, thus saith the Most High Yahweh, woe to the woman that sew pillows to all harm holes, and make kerchiefs upon the head of every stature, to hunt souls. Will ye hunt the souls of my people? And will ye save the souls alive that come unto you? And will ye pollute me among my people for handfuls of barley and for pieces of bread to slay the souls that should not die and to save the souls alive that should not live by your lying to my people? that hear your lies? Verse 20. Wherefore, thus saith the Most High Yahweh, behold, I am against your pillows, wherewith ye there hunt for the souls to make them fly. And I will tear them from your arms, and will let the souls that go. Let the souls go, even the souls that ye hunt to make them fly. Verse 21. Your kerchiefs also will I tear and deliver my people out of your hand, and they shall be no more in your hand to be hunted. And ye shall know that I am Yahweh, because with lies ye have made the heart of the righteous sad, whom I have not made sad, and strengthened the hands of the wicked, that they should not return from his wicked way, by promising him life. Therefore, ye shall see no more vanity, nor divine divinations, for I will deliver my people out of your hand. Ye shall know that I am Yahweh. Understand that, brothers and sisters. When somebody's trying to get you in a religion, they're hunting for your soul. Understand it. They are hunting for your soul. The Father is trying to set you free from man-made religion so that you don't need to be hunted anymore by these pimps calling themselves pastors and reverends and whatever because they're in a black church. Come on now. Come on now. He's trying to set you free from that. He don't want you to be under their influence. What is better? To be under the influence of Reverend Doctor whatever, or to be under the influence of the eternal Creator's Spirit? What is better? To be under the banner of the blood of the Messiah that caused the Passover, or to be under the banner of somebody's church? Under the banner of a cross sign. You understand? Don't be a victim. Don't be a victim of a crime, because that's what that is. It's a crime. Don't be a victim of a crime because they smile nice, they smell nice, they say nice things. That ain't going to help you. That ain't helping nobody. We're in a time where the only thing that helps is truth. Praise the Most High. That's the only thing that helps. Truth. May the Most High bless you and keep you. May he cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May he lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace and truth. Shalom.